Now, as you can see, guys, as Joe has so eloquently said, yes, it is Pokemon with guns. Palworld did actually open up on Steam, and there were some, we can't really call them issues, but maybe they're successes. The reason why I say that, guys, is as reported from comicbook.com, just a little over 6 days ago, Palworld had an emergency meeting with Epic Games, not because the game is crashing, not because the game is doing terrible. It's that the servers were overloaded because there was over a half a million players currently logged in and playing, which overloaded the servers. And again, this is a Pokemon game with guns, and as of now, when this was updated as of yesterday, there are currently 700,000 registered players on Palworld right now. So I guess you could call it successful, but Joe, what do you think for a game that we really didn't give a lot of credit to that a lot of people are enjoying?
Okay, so I've watched quite a bit of streamers play this. Pokemon is
Mhm.
a bit of a bizarre. It just has capture creatures and put them into literal indentured servitude this time,
Mhm.
as you can let them out of their POW spheres, and they will do cooking, mining, hunting, construction, you name it, whatnot.
Yeah.
Also, you can capture humans in this, and it actually says in the thing they're capturable, but it's kind of frowned upon.
Yeah.
And all humans have like an 11% chance, to my knowledge. But watching this, it's weird. Like this is not a game for me. I cannot. I'm not into those building games. The Pokemon aspect is very nice, but still, this just doesn't like
Mhm.
grab me. Um, Now, certain people have been mailing Game Freak and Nintendo,
Yeah.
and these guys kind of look like your models, but not quite the same thing. But one of
Mhm.
those copy off my homework, but don't make it look like you copied off my homework.
Right.
So to the
That's
point where Nintendo is actually pointing out litigations, like we're going to investigate this just a little bit.
mhm.
Most not because Nintendo feels threatened. Trust me, Nintendo has nothing to fear from this litigation wise. This is one of those. Nintendo has immediately shut down a modder and is more likely coming for that guy legally for already putting Pokemon in as a mod into it. I think we have that too.
I gotta find it. You might have to find that one because I don't think I have it. But while you're looking that up, but it's the thing about that is just that Nintendo is notorious for shutting down. And I say this with all the respect I can give to a company that hates ROMs. It hates pretty much what I'm saying, guys. Is say for instance that you have a ROM out there that can basically play Nintendo games. Nintendo finds out about it. Nintendo sends you a cease and desist. You don't cease and desist. Nintendo takes you to court, and pretty much they usually win. It's interesting now that Nintendo is being very quiet in a way about this, just because looking at Power World, looking at Pokemon, there seems to be a little bit of a similarity, but not 100%. And like Joe said, as we'll get that message up regarding that individual that's trying to put Pokemon in there. Which, by the way, guys, a little piece of advice: there's nothing wrong with modding games. Modding games can be fun, really can be, but don't do something that ruins it for everybody. Like Joe said, Power World may not be for you. It may not be for me, but it might be for a bunch of people out there that really enjoy it. And to keep themselves above the legal line, maybe not introduce licensed, not permission characters to put in a mod game. I'm just saying, because I think that gives Nintendo all the ammo it can find. Um, just saying. Now, from the other side of it, a lot of people are wondering why the Pokemon company is very quiet. Well, on Twitter, and I'm going to read this because it's been translated, so I'm just going to go ahead and read what they said. Um, the Pokemon Company releases a statement regarding Palworld, inquiries regarding other companies' games. We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We have not granted permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in the game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any act that may infringe on intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon in its world and work to bring the world together through Pokemon the Future, the Pokemon Company. So, what that basically says is, as of right now, it's a look. It's a look and a see. It's a look-see situation. Why is it a look-see situation? Well, basically because nobody has any legs to stand on. Now, again, it's still this whole issue, like Joe said, when you bring in mods, as I just said, when you bring in mods, you're giving the other company, aka Nintendo, ammo. Much like this individual here, as Joe said. YouTuber Toasted Shoes teased if I'm reading this right, teased a video of it, but Nintendo got word of it and shut him down. They did issue a DMC takedown to the creator of a viral Palworld Pokemon mod on Tuesday. The developer shared a video teasing the mod to be released on Monday. Nintendo had it taken down by Tuesday. Let me explain that again. He put out a teaser of a video on Monday. Nintendo had it shut down in less than 24 hours. Only for Toasted Shoes to say, Nintendo has come for me. Please leave me in your thoughts and prayers. Sir, Palworld on its own was really okay because, like everybody was saying, like Joe said just recently, Joe said this literally a couple minutes ago. It's similar, but not the same. The names aren't being used. The color schemes for a lot of these monsters in Palworld are quite different from the Pokemon counterparts. So, as far as the lawyers are concerned, nobody's violating any laws as of yet.
Well, they are starting to find some pals that share a design outline that is the same,
right?
But the way it looks is different. So, like, for example, they found something that shares, like, if you do Who's That Pokemon and it's Luxray.
Okay.
And then they fill it in. Well, it doesn't look like Luxray, but it fills the same character model.
Okay, but then that becomes then you're kind of splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah, that's why Game Freak says, yeah, we're now going to look into it because they're starting to. People are actually sending them, like Scott's like, so that's Rockruff, but not quite Rockruff.
Okay,
but if I squint at it, that's Rockruff.
but that's the thing I'm getting at though, because if there's likeness, okay. If there's similarities, okay. Now it's just arguing. You're really arguing split hairs at this point. I mean, unless you see Pikachu carrying a 45 throughout the game, okay, then you got something. But if you're arguing over color schemes and slightly modified designs, then that's just litigation for the next couple of years. But
sir, that is Kermit's Pokemon Glockachu.
You know what?
Have you not seen the Kermit and Perfect Cell stuff?
Yeah.
Where Perfect Cell has Jigglypuff and Kermit has Glockachu?
It's still that whoever, I forgot who came up with that series, but they're freaking geniuses, whoever they are. But going back to Palworld for a second, it just guys, like I said, play the game as it is. Please don't include the Pokemon right now. Will this wind up going into court? Maybe. Let us know in the comments what you think about it. Will Palworld survive? Will they have to? I think it's going to wind up being a collaboration at some point. I think it's going to wind up because
if it winds up a collaboration, it's going to be Team Rocket stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be something that's going to satisfy both companies, but the fact that Pokemon and Nintendo are not moving fast on this says that they're digging. But again, we'll see. Move right along, guys. James Gunn, the man who, at this point, I don't know if it, like me and Joe said, we don't know if it's him. We don't know if it's a team of people out on his social, but God dang it, the man responds to everything and anything. What I'm getting at is, guys, that James Gunn has let us know via the Dark Place, also known as X. He was asked by a fan, is that Abrams Superman Elseworld product still in development? James Gunn says yes. For all those that don't know, it is the Elseworld tale that Abrams was helmed on directing and writing, in which it was going to be the Black Superman movie that was coming to be, which it still is now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to Kal-El. I'm looking forward to his story if they go that route. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do because, as Gunn has already sat there and said, Elseworlds is pretty much DC's What If and will not interact with the main current storyline of the DC universe, as he called it, since they're still under still under Gods and Monsters Chapter 1.
Is this the Michael B. Jordan one?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was he had a separate version or if it was J.J. Abrams and Michael B. Jordan.
Nope, that's him.
Nope, I'm down. I'm down. Okay. Whether it's Kal-El or Calvin Ellis, I'm down. Like, more Superman movies that understand what being Superman is always a good thing.
Yeah, and I'm for it too. And again, I know, like I said, like I've been saying before here, and I've said it on Blurred's Eye View, in Gunn we trust, because James Gunn, I mean, putting him and Peter Safran at the helm of DC, pretty much telling Warner Brothers, this is the line in the sand, don't cross it. And the fact that he is writing Superman Legacy, that we are going to wind up seeing Mr. Terrific, we're going to wind up seeing Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. We are going to see a lot of heroes that we did ask in DC, and including some surprises like Creature Commandos. That's a surprise in itself. So the fact that we are going to still wind up seeing an alternate Superman Elseworld's tale, I am completely all for. But again,
okay, I have a question that is specific to you in this one.
Shoot.
Which one would you rather have be Jor-El? Jordan Peele or Barack Obama?
Oh. Jordan Peele.
Why not the former president? I gotta ask. I understand it's because he's not an actor, but I feel like we can see him on Krypton a hot second.
You know the thing about it is, I could see him as one of the Lords of Krypton and not Jor-El, but he can also do Jor-El, which kind of.
If we're doing that, then Keegan-Michael Key has to be his anger.
Yes.
Luth R. His anger. No, Luth R. His anger translator.
You know what? If Gunn is able to pull that off, I'm not mad. If you can make that happen,
we've manifested that. Let him be one of the Spy Science Council, and Michael just comes out as Luth R.
I would not be mad if that happened. If that freaking happened. At that point, Gunn can do no wrong.
Now, you done screwed up, Jor-El.
Just to see him. What if he was trying? What if as Luthor was trying to literally get on Zod, get on General Zod? That would be interesting. Oh God!
This guy says like, you done messed up.
And I could see that, and I would not complain at all.
You could just have Barack Obama's like, Luth, it's good, I got this.
I can see it now. I got it.
We're gonna send it to you to the Phantom Zone. Oh, he crazy.
You know what? I'm not mad. I would be all for it. I would be all freaking for it. But no, with the Elseworlds tale, I'm happy it's still in place. I'm still happy that hopefully Abrams can get it right. He's had some hit. I will be honest about J.J. Abrams. He's had some hits and misses. I will give him that. I just hope, because you're given an alternate Superman story, just take your time. That's all I ask. I mean, like I said, we want you to get this right, because you may be nervous about Star Trek. But anyway, moving right along, guys. Like I said, we're going to get to the good parts of WWE. And what I mean by that is, I do want to say this, show the trailer first, because the trailer will basically explain parts of the good news of WWE. And if you haven't seen the trailer for WWE 2K24, here it is.
Road suffered a nightmare tonight.
I think this is how my story ends.
Roman Reigns has done it again.
This is the story of legacy.
Look at the power of Belair!
I got the EST story.
And it might be! Ladies and women!
I'll rip the pages out of your story.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. My story started at the very beginning, brother. My story's full of ass whooping.
Doing what he does best.
I'll end your story.
This story's not finished.
Okay, so as you can see, guys, that's the trailer for WWE 2K24. What I wanted you guys to really focus on was this right here. As you can see, guys, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, does cover the standard version of the WWE 2K24 game. What's interesting is the deluxe edition. It is going to be featuring Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Now, for all those that have not been paying attention to WWE covered games, Bianca Belair is the first African-American woman to be featured on the cover of a WWE game. Now, again, that's great. That's wonderful. I kind of wish I had the video where Triple H was telling them, but, you know, time is all that. But, again, that's great news. Bianca Belair, she is a Tennessee Knoxville native, and we are proud that she was able to grace cover this game. However, she is not the only person. I just have to, where is the part where I had it? Because that's kind of bad that I don't have that up right now. One of the referees also was featured on the game as well. Samantha Robinson. She was also one of the female referees in WWE. She did post on her Instagram that she was able to see herself. And I don't know about you guys, but when you can see yourself on Instagram and sit there and just, for lack of better words, cry, that is a beautiful feeling. And, oh, here it is. Got it. There we go. Daphne LaShawn, I apologize. She was the one, of course, also featured in the game. So we actually have a couple of African Americans in the WWE game. And again, that's all great news. Now, also, The Rock. I know it's a weird transition, but go with me. The Rock has been appointed to WWE's parent company, TKO, as a board member. He has also retained full ownership of the Rock trademark, which, by the way, a very lucrative brand. And, of course, will be helping out from a regional board issue. He won't actually be involved in WWE with creative or anything of that nature, but just, again, cool to actually see a guy be able to be in that position. And of course, his daughter Ava, for all those that have been following NXT, has been named the GM for WWE NXT, the youngest GM for a brand in history. But Joe, any thoughts on that?
I will definitely be getting it because the last time I played a 2K WWE 2K game was the 2014 for 30 years of WrestleMania. That was probably my favorite mode to play.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see how they make it even better in this year because now we got 40 years of Mania. I will definitely be giving it a shot. I know that Mania games have changed dramatically from the last time I was able to play them. So
nice.
Lord only knows what I'll be able to make this time, but I am actually looking forward to it. It's just kind of a shame. This gets kind of overshadowed real quickly.
Yeah, and again, we are going to lightly go over this. Joe, I believe we have a trigger warning.
We do have a trigger warning. My apologies. I have no idea how loud this is actually going to be.
Yes, that's our trigger.
It just keeps going. It's not my fault. This is what happens when it's jet from Japan.
Oh, yes, that is our trigger warning. And again, guys, for all those that don't know, okay, we're going to lightly go over this. Vince McMahon, former owner of WWE, former owner of WWF, then turned WWE, does have another case against him. Now, even though we do try to watch yourselves on this podcast, guys, if you want to know the full case, you're going to have to go see it for yourself. It is a case of highly graphic material. And if you want to know it in its full detail, of course, the internet is your friend. You can look up all the details because they are court documents now. That being said, because the nature of Vince McMahon's case against him, longtime friend, I guess you can say, business associate of WWE, Slim Jims, because of Vince McMahon's case, Slim Jims has actually pulled all their advertising from WWE, and this is hours before Royal Rumble this Saturday, which, again, Slim Jims has been a long-time advertiser for WWE. I want to say it's almost as long as, 30, 40 years, give or take.
As long as Macho Man's been doing it.
Yeah, so at least 30 years. So to lose a client of 30 years because of these allegations lets you know how serious it is. And
on top of that, these are allegations with solid backed up evidence. Like,
yes,
I've seen the text messages. It is
very, very graphic.
Terrifying. We will go with utterly terrifying and debased. Like, if you think he was a scumbag before from the first allegations, you ain't seen nothing.
Yeah, it's like I said, we like me and Joe said, it's very graphic, it's very degrading.
This also implements somebody else potentially, and they have yet to name the name, but if you're in the know on wrestling of who's who and who is Vince's favorite people in the whole wide world, you probably know who this particular wrestler is.
Yep. And at the same time, guys, like I said, with the Royal Rumble just being tomorrow, again, that said person may or may not be there again because we don't have
that Saudi Arabia money. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that too. I mean, yeah, he still might get it. Now that I think about it, he still might get it. But we don't want it, like I said before, we don't have official saying on that. What we can say as of just 10 minutes ago, Vince McMahon has resigned from TKO.
Oh, wow.
So every position, this was just reported by Bleacher Report, that Vince McMahon has resigned from all positions in TKO. So he is officially out of the company. So again, like I said, guys, we're not going to go any farther into that. If you want to know the court documents and all the details, the internet is your friend. We just want to protect, like I said before, even though the brand Get Bit is geared toward adults and seasoned people like me and Joe myself, we don't want.
We are not ready for this amount of adult stuff.
Right. And at the same time, if kids are watching this, we don't want kids subjected to this. That's just something we don't do. But like I said, if you want to find out about that case, the internet's your friend. But moving back on the happy stuff, because we was happy about WWE and looking forward to Royal Rumble until that mess happened. But I want to get to this one because I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm going to ask Joe about this. Because, Joe, you remember the Book of Eli, right?
Yes. I went to go see the not John Boyega, the Wolfman, and everybody else went to go see Book of Eli.
Okay. Well, the reason why I bring that up, because again, the Book of Eli, if you haven't seen it, was a movie. Thank you. Back in 2010, was done by Denzel Washington, and of course, if you're still waiting to see the Book of Eli by now, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It basically was Denzel Washington basically played a guy who was traversing across wasteland in order to get a book to a certain destination. Denzel Washington was basically blind, which a lot of people did not know until the very end, and that the book that he was the treasure that he was holding on to was the Holy Bible, in which he recited the entire thing from end to end before he died. Now, with that being said, the reason why I'm bringing up the Book of Eli is because they are trying to do a prequel movie to it. So John Boyega is expected to have the lead role as he's set to executive produce and star in the television series that is supposed to be a prequel to the Book of Eli, which they're not giving a lot of details about it. They're saying that the TV series will take place 30 years prior to the Book of Eli film. So this is basically what they're saying is around the time of the nuclear apocalypse that happens or close to it. They're not being very exact on when the timeline actually happens for that. However, it is still in how can I put this? It's still in developmental purgatory. The reason why is because it doesn't have a buyer for the series as of yet. Now, do not get me wrong. I was wondering how they would do this because, again, if you've seen the Book of Eli, you either going to be following this man's story, and if so, it's going to be difficult or challenging to make it into a television series to actually lead up to the Book of Eli. So, to be quite honest, I want to see it, but at the same time, I'm nervous how they're going to do it. I feel like this is another Halo, if it makes you feel any better. It's like Halo on Paramount Plus. I'm concerned.
No. This would be good.
It would be, but it's still, you only have so much you can do before it leads into the movie. Like,
I mean, they're just going to Mad Max this. That's all this is. It's like, what if Mad Max meets Daredevil?
True. But I just wonder for a series, how long can it last? I mean, what? Like a lot of series don't really have a 4 to 5 projected season.
How far away from Day of Z are we in Dragon Ball Super? The answer is we'll never know.
Oh, we'll never know. We'll never. That's right up there with the Joker's identity. It's better not to ask questions. Just know that there's a number that somebody knows, and that's the end of it.
Here's another way of putting it. How far away are we? A freeze of 5 minutes.
Yeah. And for all those who don't know the joke behind that, that's 30 episodes.
That's not my fault.
For all those that don't know the joke, 30 episodes is a freeze of 5 minutes. But I, like I said before, I think it should be good. It's one of those things we have to wait and see and find out. But speaking of things to wait and see and find out, like me waiting to play Tekken, like me playing Tekken 8, Joe has played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And I want to play the trailer really quickly before Joe gives his impressions, just to give you a refresher course on what it looks like.
Well, lately, our old friend, the Seiryu clan's been acting mighty suspicious.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Asuka-san.
I'm sending you to Hawaii. There's someone there who wants to meet you. It's your mother, Akane-san.
What the hell's going on? Freeze. Kiryu-san? High time you met the head of the Barracudas. Name's Dwight.
Barracudas are after me. Akane-san. They're after her too, you know.
You seen this?
This is someone else. Ganja.
You trying to tell me there are Yakuza in Hawaii?
The head of Kazuma Kiryu. What better trophy than the head of a dragon?
I really, really need your help, like, right now. I'd take a bullet for a bud any day. Take cover!
You can always turn a new leaf, but you can't turn back the clock. All you get is the precious time you're given. You ready for this, Kasuga?
Let's do this.
Okay. So, guys, that was the trailer for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. As you can see, guys, it is out now. Joe, you've had time to play it, sir. What'd you think about it?
Well, just addressing why Kazuma Kiryu looks like the way he does as opposed to why he looks like he does and the man who erased his name. I go back to my grandmother's words of wisdom. It all goes in one night. I looked like this last week. She would hold a picture of herself from the 60s and in the mid 80s.
Nice.
Now, the game's fantastic. I am only 2 hours in, which in a Yakuza game means I've taken about 3 steps and watched about 4 movies. But I've actually been in combat. I've done a little bit of some stuff. Not very much, but enough to where I'm comfortable already saying, like, this is leaps and bounds better over the first one. This is still very Dragon Quest. Like, we still have job classes. We get a lot of job classes in this one. Oh, my God. Again, being able to move in combat is leaps and bounds ahead of what the original Like a Dragon was. The original Like a Dragon, you were stationary until you actually moved to attack.
Yeah.
In this one, being able to move means dictates where your AoEs hit easier, where you can do wall bounces, toss enemies into other enemies, toss enemies into other allies, follow up additional attacks, stuff like that. You get your own Mario Kart, you get your own Animal Crossing. I hope to once again put a chicken in front as the corporate head of an entire rice cracker conglomeration later on down the road and make some extra money doing some trading. And again, putting a chicken in charge of things. I hope they bring over the RC racetrack thing from Man Who Erases Name. Actually, I did more of that than I did the actual game.
Okay.
So I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to doing more. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming it right away. I just want to like play it and absorb it for myself as is. So, you know, I have no idea when I'll stream next. At some point I need to play that Grendiver game, but the fact that it's made in the 70s and my main enemy is General Blackie keeps me from wanting to stream that for obvious reasons.
It's still funny. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But no, back to Like a Dragon. I am playing it in Japanese. I will always play it in Japanese. Not a big fan of Young Yab being the voice of Kiryu. I think he does a good young Kiryu. I do not think he is well suited for 60 plus Kiryu. I think they should have gone with somebody a little deeper. Maybe Steve Blum, since he just like basically has the Kiryu voice as Spike. Let's make it a little deeper, or even get the guy that does Jet's voice. Let him be that. Maybe that sounds a little too rough. That could be Goro's. But anyways, really, really enjoying what I have played thus far. I've already learned that a actual literal giant sausage link is right now my most powerful weapon thus far in the early levels. And having Lucky Undies has really boosted up my yen intake from defeating enemies.
Nice.
And boosting having Gore Shoes with extremely lucky socks enhances my experience gain.
Nice.
All of which I said is entirely true statements. I'll say this. The giant sausage, which is a literal giant sausage, there is no euphemism there, which is cheaper, does more attack than the giant massage one, which is exactly what that sounds like.
Oh, I failed the immaturity test. But that's cool though. But anything else you would add more to it, or just give a tip to those that are starting to play what they should be expecting?
Insanity.
Good enough.
It's like, what if Dragon Quest was about organized crime? And also Danny Trejo tries to fight you with machetes.
Yep, that fits. All right, well, cool. Well, thank you for that, Joe. Again, like I said, Infinite Wealth is out, guys. Definitely enjoy it. I'm pretty sure once Joe beats it, we're going to get a more in-depth review from there. But impression-wise, seems to be all good. Moving right along, guys, I want to cover this as well because, again, I want to stay on the good news kick. Bullseye will be back in Daredevil Born Again. Wilson Bethel, who does play Benjamin Poindexter, also known as Bullseye, will be returning back to Daredevil series. For all those that don't remember, in the Daredevil series, Bullseye was still alive. He was in a hospital room, and of course has the iconic Bullseye as far as context go. I am fully for this. Wilson Bethel played a great Bullseye, so I'm looking forward to the fact that Born Again seems to be implementing the same elements that made the Netflix Daredevil great, especially with Foggy and Karen coming back, Bullseye's coming back. Of course, the Kingpin we already know is going to be a part of this. All I'm saying is this just reaffirms my faith that Marvel is really, really putting a lot into Born Again. But Joe, your thoughts on this?
Honestly, I don't have too much because I did not see Daredevil season 3. I kind of like tapped out or something else grabbed my interest when this was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wanting to know, like, how was his portrayal as Bullseye?
Very well done. Very.
Did he have anything like akin to the suit, or
the suit itself? He didn't really have a suit per se. It was more like a stealth suit. So it really didn't. It didn't have the. It didn't have the
giant silver bullseye on his head.
That too, and it didn't actually have the more tactical stuff. It's almost like it was like Bullseye Day One. I'll put it like that. I mean, the suit
so kind of like how Matt is his Day One costume.
Yeah, that I'll put it like that. But still, I loved his character in it. It was way different than what I'm used to. So, again, the fact that they're bringing him back, I'm not complaining. And of course, we did find out that Deadpool did wrap up their filming as well. So,
yes.
A
lovely shot of his crotch letting us know blood, sweat, and tears and other bodily fluids have been wept this day.
Yeah, I mean, leave it to Ryan Reynolds to be the troll that we've always grown to love, especially when he shows us things that just defy logic. But anyway, we're looking forward to it. Also, guys, I also forgot to mention this as well for WWE news. Netflix will be the new home of WWE Raw in 2025.
I kind of wonder about that now.
Yeah, I mean, well, they already purchased it, $5 billion, a $5 billion deal for Netflix to stream Raw in 2025. Of course, SmackDown will go to USA, and possibly NXT may be showing on the CW. So the fact that Netflix, I mean, WWE made out like a bandit, $5 billion just to stream Raw, which goes to say a lot that they actually have a lot of faith in that show. Now, because I don't think because what's going on with Vince, it's going to affect that, but just want to throw that out there because, my God, $5 billion just to stream Raw. That's saying a lot. But moving right along, guys, we did want to get to our next trailer because if you have not seen The Bad Batch on Disney Plus, you're really missing out on a great show as we have now coming to the final season, and here's the trailer for it.
Hold on! They've got troopers up top. We're running out of road!
Not exactly a stealth exit, boys.
Let's move!
I thought that the end of the war would mean an end to losing more of our brothers. But I was wrong. We can't just walk away. Not with the Empire imprisoning the kid. Secure her in a cell. Omega's been waiting for us a long time. Our mission is not over yet.
There is nothing of greater importance to secure the future of this empire. Whatever is needed to accomplish this goal, you will have it.
They are coming. For all of you.
Give us a real challenge. Everyone, down!
We're not big on following orders.
I wasn't planning on killing you, but you're making it very tempting.
Okay, guys. Now that was the trailer for the final season of The Bad Batch on Disney Plus. Again, I'm not going to spoil it just because I've been following it, and if I were to give you anything regarding the previous seasons, I would tell you to go back and go watch it. As the 3-episode premiere will happen in February, so we're not too far off from that. But again, great series if you hadn't had a chance to watch it. Joe, have you seen The Bad Batch? Seen the episodes from it?
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
Wait, what do we? Yeah, I liked the last season. It was fun.
Okay, because that's the thing. It's like I'm not trying to, because of every season kind of being connected, I'm trying not to say anything that might dismay people from actually not watching
The
it.
only thing I'm laughing at is that they retconned, like they made a huge retcon already.
Yeah.
And that is Asajj Ventress being alive again when she was killed off in the books.
That's true. But aside from that, though, like I said, definitely worth watching if you haven't already. But then again, I also say watch the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, but that's just me. But moving right along, guys, to Doctor Who news, because we are in the new season of Doctor Who.
Confusing as hell.
What's that?
No, just the news we got from Doctor Who. It's like a literal Doctor Who episode. She's in, she's out, she's in, she's out. She's over slightly to the left.
You know what that is? That's the
Timey Whimey Wibbly Wobbly.
There's an episode like that, and it was Capaldi's Doctor. I'll have to go find that episode.
I thought you were talking about the Tenet episode where it was written by a fan episode.
Also that too, but Capaldi's popped up in my head first before Tennis did. But not to confuse everybody about what we're talking about. When we say she's out, she's in, she's out, she's in. Doctor Who star Millie Gibson, the woman that you see right there, who is pictured with the Doctor here. Forgive me, I have yet to get your name right. I apologize.
Shuti Gatwa. We have this pinned in the group chat.
I know, and I still have yet to get the pronunciation right, but he is our newest Doctor, and of course, Millie is his companion there. Now, why are we talking about this? Because she is going to be replaced by Verada Sethu, as you can see right there, after one season of Doctor Who. Again, guys, there is yet, and I was really trying to see if they would give a reason why she's being replaced after one season. Was there an issue with her character? Did they decide to go a different direction? As of right now, nobody's talking. So we could speculate all day as far as why she's leaving. I will say this. If you have not yet seen Doctor Who or the Christmas special, I highly recommend that you do. I think she's a phenomenal actress, especially acting right alongside our Black Doctor Who. Again, we don't know why it has yet to not be reported. Even the lead actor himself just simply said, "My
little twin love."
Yeah, D left it at that. Of course. With our Doctor as well, what we did not know, because with Doctor Who, he does say after the second season, which is currently being filmed, will there be a third season? He goes, quote unquote, I have no idea, no plan. I just know that I'm loving it and my love for it is growing. It feels so much fun now. I'm relaxed. And the Doctor seems to have sucked down a little bit deeper from my chest into my gut. So honestly, I will say this. I'm not worried just because I think Niti Kugawa is doing a great job as the Doctor. I have no issues with that in the story right now. Kind of disappointed that, we're already switching companions, although it's not out of the ordinary. There have been some companions that have stuck on first season and then were replaced the following season. So it's not a big change. But the fact that there was so much anticipation behind this upcoming Doctor Who that we're already switching out companions. But Joe, any thoughts you want to add to that?
No, it's very similar to you. And then there are even some reports saying that she will be there. Mm-hmm. She will just be in a lesser role. Like she'll be at the house, and the house will be kind of like a secondary home that the Doctor will visit every so often. And so we'll see her sporadically. So I mean, this originally came to the Sun and then got so big that now Variety's covering it, and there's just no real answer. We just know that they are adding in the nice lady in the second season, so we don't know what's going on. Again, as Will just said, this is not uncommon. All attendants companions were one season. Rose technically counts because Rose carried over from Eccleston, who was only a Doctor for a season. Right. And then Rose lasted for a season. Then we got Martha Jones, who lasted a season. Then we got Donna, who only was there for a season. Yeah. Companions can be very, very infrequent. We're not going to get Karen Gillan and Arthur, what's his name?
Yeah.
The Pawns.
Yeah. You're not going to get Rory. Rory went out like a Spartan. So you're never
Rory
gonna
literally just went and became another Time Lord on his own TV show for a season,
pretty
and
much.
then they kind of left him alone.
Yeah.
But I mean, not everyone's going to be an Adrid or a Martha or a Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes your trip with the Doctor is brief,
memorable
but brief. So I hate it because I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a great actress from just that one episode I saw alone.
Yeah.
They took that one lady from Andor. I don't know how I feel about that because I was one of the 5 people in America that did not like Andor.
I still got to finish it.
I just don't like the main actor. That's my only issue with that show is there's a reason they paired that man with Alan Tudyk robot in Rogue One, and he needs that Alan Tudyk robot with him the whole time because that man sounds like he is half asleep delivering his lines every time.
There you go. Fair enough.
So, again, back to the Doctor Who. It sucks, but, hopefully she'll just have a reduced role as to be completely replaced. But if she's gone after one season, that is the nature of the beast.
It's true. But yeah, like I said, not weird on Doctor Who as far as, the actors not knowing, but hey, we have faith. Moving right along, guys, to our last video game trailer of tonight, because I did not see this coming. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but Princess Peach has got her own game. It's called Princess Peach Showtime.
Howdy there.
Okay, guys, that was the trailer for Princess Peach. As you can see, will be available on March 20th. I'm sorry, Princess Peach Showtime. Let me say the entire thing. Will be available March 22nd of 2024 for the Nintendo Switch. Pre-orders are available now. It looks fun. It looks cute. It may not be something that I would be into, but I can definitely see the allure behind it. Joe, what about you?
It's less insulting than the last time Princess Peach got her own solo game.
That is very much true.
You can also do Evil Moment 37 with Kung Fu Peach.
I mean, I get that. It's just like I said. Wasn't expecting a Princess Peach game. I mean, it looks very clean. I like the fact that it's very clean, side scrolling, a little bit. It kind of gives me crap. I'm not gonna say Mario Party vibes just because there's not multiple players, but it kind of has that landscape to it where it's a fully inactive environment. I dig it from a visual standpoint. Like I said, it just may not be for me, but then again, I may not be its target audience, and we definitely don't want to dismay anybody who is interested in playing it. Feel free to go out there, and again, if you do play it and happen to come across us, let us know what you think of it. So we want to be able to give some customer feedback to Nintendo as if they cared.
I'll give it a shot. There's nothing coming out in March.
I mean, pretty much.
We'll still all be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but
Ooh, I'm on the dead. That's gonna be hard to try to play that and still be an adult at the same time. But we are gonna try. We are gonna try our freaking hardest. Because there's a few next gen systems I just got. I'm really catching up. So if I sound like I'm repeating older games, it's because I now get the chance to play them. Because like I said, adulting, being a husband with kids, you don't really have a lot of time to game. So I'm enjoying every single moment I can get. So enough about my life. Moving right along, guys. We did want to cover this as well, but as this will be our last bit of news before we get to our comic pools. Joe, what can you tell the folks about Spectacular Spider-Man #1?
It's a Spider-Man book that will not suck, containing Peter Parker.
We still haven't got past this. I was gonna sit there.
You heard me right here, the meow meow.
I was gonna sit there and say, so it's not the Spider-Man that looks like it was drawn by Webblocks.
Webblocks would be an improvement.
Damn. With that being said, guys, here's the trailer.
I'm talking like, I don't know, once a week, right? Say on Wednesdays at 4 p.m.?
The Spider-Man of Manhattan teams up with the Spider-Man of Brooklyn.
No Spider-Man, no team-ups, just plain old Peter Parker meets mild-mannered Miles Morales.
So, no crime fighting, no web slinging, we just hang out like normal folk.
Exactly. A totally normal thing for us to do. Nothing arachnobatic about it at all.
You said that
I know.
You totally promised that
I know. I'm sorry.
And as you can see, guys, that's going to be on sale March 2024 at most comic shops near you. The Spectacular Spider-Man, cover by Humberto Ramos. Ramos, forgive me if I mispronounced that. Looks interesting. I will say it that much. And I love the fact that Spider-Man actually looks like Spider-Man. But Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
His voice actor sounded familiar. He actually said the Peter voice actor actually sounds like the Spider-Man from the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man games.
Yeah, could be. I kind of thought about that as it was playing, but the fact that
I'm down. I just want to see more Spider-Man stuff be Spider-Man without the stories being bad. And it's Greg Weisman, so we already know this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know who Greg Weisman is, I can't help you.
Or at least we ask that you look up some issues that actually happen behind the scenes. You'll understand why.
No, it's not issues.
Well, I mean, the issues he's behind. But you can feel free to pull that up. But anyway, again, that's like I said, not too far off in March 2024. So as Joe is getting ready to get the comic pool list together, guys, while he's doing that, we do want to always show love to Rick's Comic City. Voted Nationals, voted #1 place to go for comic books and mangas and many other things for the last 6 years in a row. If you are in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check them out. They're 2 locations, Nashville and Clarksville, Tennessee. Of course, there are a location called Locker Nerd, which will actually be in Fort Campbell. Again, you can also go to rickcomiccity.com. You'll be able to look up comic books, get your pull list, trades, hardcovers. They are the go-to place in Nashville for comic books. So if you're in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check them out. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, please support your local comic books, support your local libraries, guys, as these are the last places to where you'll be able to get comics. I know Barnes & Noble is a thing. I know reading comic books online is a thing. But again, comic book stores and libraries need your help. Shop small, shop local, get a library card. It still costs you nothing. And at the same time, kids, from me and Joe, read the banned books. I know a lot's going on right now with libraries, guys, but definitely read the banned books. There's stuff that is going to be helpful to you, that's going to help you grow and learn. Even though they say it's not, read it because there's information there that you should know that you're being denied. So definitely, guys, read the banned books. Please support Go Rinks Comic City. Let them know that Get Bit Podcast sent you. It doesn't get you any discounts, but hey, you'll basically see our hamster mugs playing in their stores. At the same time, guys, support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. They are the last places on earth to where you can find great things to read about, write about, and basically collect. So, Joe, I see that you do have your pull list ready to go, sir. So whenever you're ready.
First up tonight, we got Amazon's Attack. This is part 4, written by Josie Campbell, art by Too Small I Can't See, Vasco Gregorov, colors by Alex Gumarez, main cover by Clayton Henry and Marcelo Malayo. This just continues the awesome adventures of Nubia and the other Amazons. Specifically now, Cassie has been thrown into the mix into this book, where she has teamed up with Yara and also Donna as they investigate Amazon safe houses, which have been seemingly abandoned, though they have not been hunted. Something is now drawing the Amazons to somewhere through the use of the word asylum. Kind of like Xavier sending people out, sending the X-Men to the White Hot Room. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
And then just some other stuff. Good book, good solid book. Mary Marvel gets to fangirl out with Cassie, which I have a hard time believing they've never met before, but
secret exit.
Secret exit.
It's still funny. I'm sorry.
Now, what'd you think?
Oh no, it was a good issue. I'm sorry. Secret exit. I'm not gonna explain it. You have to read it. You have to read it and wonder why me and Joe are cracking up laughing. Overall, it's a good book. It does continue the sovereign. I guess we can call it the sovereign of the sovereign king of the U.S. story. But I love the fact that it doesn't take away from the story itself. It kind of adds to it. At the same time, it does add this whole intrigue about asylum being a trigger word for Amazons. So I dig it. It was definitely a good issue.
Next up, we look at Power Girl number 5. This is written by Leah Williams with art by David Bodion and colors by Romulo Feraldo Jr. This is actually and secretly a Streaky the Super Cat issue, because all this is happening while it's late at night and Kara's out cold, so Streaky goes and have super pet adventures and pretty much saves most of Metropolis's homeless animals and kidnapped animals from an animal experimentation lab. This is one of those rare comic books where there's very little dialogue because cats can't talk. Well, Dexter's not here, so cats can't talk.
Right.
And then at the end of it, we learn that the next issue will be Supergirl, a legendary and possibly banned team up between Power Girl and Supergirl. But I enjoyed this as a cat owner. I think this was just a fun little book break because we just finished Power Girl's first big arc with the Kryptonian super virus that was like killing people. And this just gives us a nice little breather to set up for the next arc.
Yeah, it does. I thought, like I said, I'm not much of a cat person, but it was still a good issue. It was entertaining.
Moving on over to Marvel and things that make me mad in this book, which it's very hard to with Spider-Woman because I really am a huge fan of Jessica Drew. I started collecting her in her 2018 book when she first started carrying Jerry and whatnot. This is written by Steve Fox with art by Corolla Borley and art colors by R.F. Peranto. We'll go with that. I apologize. Jessica's just continuously knocking down Diamondback's businesses one by one, leaving him with less and less in hand. The Serpent Society is like, look, we'd love to help you, but we're dealing with Mr. Negative. He's like, well, at least give me Was it Mamba? Is the one that he goes to get?
Yeah, he goes Green Mamba.
Yeah, he goes get Green Mamba. Meanwhile, Maddie Franklin, the current Madam Web, finally teams up with Jessica. It's like, oh, your son's missing because you got unmade during that last spider event that not a lot of people read, and it introduced Bailey the Spider Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's what that void in the web of life I've been feeling is. It's your kid. Yeah, I'll help. And then we learn where the kid is. And unfortunately, no one gets to have small children anymore in DC. The moment you have a 2-year-old, within 5 minutes, they're a 22-year-old.
You're not wrong.
And I hate it. I hate it so much. I love this book. I want to support this book. But I don't like how it ended. Hopefully, unlike John, this will result in some bizarre way, magical way of putting him back to his original age, because I do not like how this book ended.
Yeah, it was a little.
It's so cliche.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I can understand them doing something inhuman because it's Hydra. So I was more than ready to learn the baby's being used as a human generator to power Hydra weapons. I was fine with that, and that is monstrous if you think about what I just said. But it's also Hydra. So
it's also Hydra.
Just fine.
Versus what we got.
I want to see a 2-year-old being super aged, accelerated age into a 20-year-old just to fight his mom.
Yeah.
That's dumb and cliche.
And just lazy writing.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's lazy writing, but yeah.
Hated. Good book overall, just the ending sucks. The ending just blows.
Right.
Moving on over, we have Superior Spider-Man, and I will written by Dan Slott, art by Mark Bagley, inks by John Dell. I'm going to say this is the most Victor Brothers book I've ever read this issue. I just continuously go to 23 and 21, the entire issue with the Spiderlings.
All I can sit there, I'm going to, how can I put this? I don't want to spoil too much of this, so I'm going to say it like this. Eraser board, walk through. If all else fails, go back to plan A.
Peter just feels dirty, like the whole book. You can tell it just he has to say Otto's catchphrase. He has to talk down to the Spiderlings. It's all sorts of things, and it's just one of those you can tell Peter just feels dirty. It's I'm gonna need a long shower after this. I don't know what it was. But because this focused so heavily on the minions, it just was an issue of reading the Monarch.
Yeah.
As Otto and 23 and 24 and the rest of the henchmen.
However, he does apologize for Aunt May.
No, he does.
He does apologize for that.
Yeah. Because Spider-Man's oh, you're here. This is one of the greatest moments of my career as Spider-Man. I was like, why? I trapped you here and left you utterly defeated. It's well, this for an A. It's oh, yeah, no, May. Dude, I am so sorry. She is a wonderful and kind woman. I am truly sorry.
And it's still weird that he dated Aunt May in another line. In another comic book story, he dated Aunt May. It's still weird.
Yeah. And then, of course, we're technically maybe going back to Superior Spider-Man again. I did like that board. It's clone, better clone, ?
The level of just did he really do a whole entire possibility matrix?
Well, because none of them were. I don't even think Otto remembers making the deal that brought him back to his normal body.
No, because that's not. Well, as you said, that's not the Otto. Well, again, we don't want to spoil for you guys. Just go read it. Go read it. You'll understand.
And then read every Spiderling in 23 and 24's voice.
Pretty much.
It's powder blue. I laughed so hard the moment this started going on them. I couldn't disassociate it. I really couldn't. I tried so hard and I couldn't do it. I was just waiting for Venom Brock Sampson to bust in at some point.
It was the commentary between Otto and Peter that killed me. the commentary alone was like, that's not what I would have done. It's like, here, hit that man as hard as you can. What?
It's like
how
no,
did you kill
I
these
was like,
men?
now say the phrase, the die has been cast. You.
Just wow. It's just like that's the trigger for him. But okay. But no, Superior Spider-Man, this issue was great. It's just I did not expect to be laughing that hard. Not laughing that hard though.
Okay, now we missed a book last week because and I tried to actually say that because this week was a little light on comics. So we're going back 1 week and we're looking at Avengers Twilight issue 1 from Chip Zdarsky and Daniel Acuna. This is a really, really nice one of those alternate futures. And I like that Chip Zdarsky just outright goes, looks at Cap's life. Cap's been depowered. Has a nice life. The world's gotten a bit more dystopian where like everyone's kind of like My Hero Academia where almost everybody has superpowers or access to the internet to the point where they no longer live in the current reality.
Right.
Nova Centurions are your standardized police force. It's become like authoritarian government regime.
It's almost like Minority Report.
Yep. It's also kind of like the opening of the Avengers video game where like one bad thing happens to the Avengers and then superheroes are just done with.
Yeah. Yeah.
We learned that Chip Zdarsky, being an excellent writer that he is, shows us immediately that he kills Spider-Man because I feel like, and there's a reason for this, and he also kills another character in this book. And I feel like he did that on purpose because, and this is pure conjecture on my end, but I feel like he had to because with the subject matter at hand, the story would naturally drift to either Peter or the other character and take the story away from the intentional characters.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And also, Peter has to die because Peter is that linchpin in the Marvel Universe where if he dies, pretty much all hope dies. Like he is like he's the best point of reference I can give is the Justice Lords episode in Justice League where if Flash dies, everybody goes dark.
But
everybody becomes the crime syndicate?
Okay, so let me ask you this though, because we both read it. Do you not think that's a little bit petty that he killed off both of those characters that could have overshadowed Cap?
It's not that it would have overshadowed Captains. They would have come slowly gravitate to become the leader of the story. And I don't even think Cap's the main of the story. I think Cap is the linchpin for getting things rolling. Okay. But I think if we leave those two, particularly these two people, and we're leaving the second person anonymous for a reason. I want you guys to read this book. That the story would naturally gravitate towards them because of who Chip Zdarsky has written in his career.
Okay, fair. For me, I was like, did you really have to off those two so fast?
I do like that Luke just like, I've been busy. It's like, you're head of the resistance, aren't you?
He wasted no time with Luke, and the fact that Luke's body is that the experiment that's basically made Luke Cage what he is has put him in that state. Interesting choice. I will leave it at that. I will say that.
The main Marvel Universe is going to be meeting like, oh my God, level Luke here shortly if you've read Timeless.
True.
Where he has the power of like Blue Marvel, the Hulk, and other things.
True. It was just that level of, again, not to spoil it for you guys that haven't seen it. I haven't read it. I just wasn't expecting that. If we're gonna go older, okay. You've let the other characters kind of age gracefully in a way, but
you let Luke look like he's like one of the dudes from Barbershop.
Pretty much. But you put him in a position that we can't say.
Yeah. And then we're also introduced to like Tony Stark's kid, who you think is going to start a villain. I think he's going to be the hero of the book in the end.
I don't know. Jury's still out.
I think he's going to have a wake up moment. It's like, oh God, what have I done?
I could say that, but the jury's still out on him just because how he's being written right now, it's more along the lines of a Justin Hammer than it is a Tony Stark.
Yeah. But good book. Art's fantastic. Very nice twists for a couple things. I hate that they had to do it, but I'm glad they moved the two biggest characters that could have taken the spotlight of the book out as soon as they did, so that they can move forward with what the storyline is. And even with the way they got Peter, and he's like, "You got to protect my aunt. Her name is May Parker. My name is," and Cat's like, "No, your name is Spider-Man. You are the best. You are the best of all of us."
Yeah, that line still gets me. It's like, just dang. When you grow up, you're going to be the best of us. Just damn. But no, it was good. It was a good issue though.
Rounding out the night is Power Rangers 116, another part of Darkest Hour. It's written by Melissa Flores with illustrations by Adam Gorman and Marco Renna. Cars by Joanne LaFuente. And just bad stuff is happening all around. We have not been keeping up with Power Rangers because I thought we would be able to, but so many good books have been coming out. It's been hard to keep track. Let's just say that Steph is still screwed. Master Vile's still in control. Rita, Empress Rita is still winning, and so many different Rangers are corrupted, and Draken finally has a moment to go, well, crap, my life's been crap.
Draken has that moment.
He kind of has this Vader in Return of the Jedi moment. It's like, wait, am I the bad guy?
He literally, that's pretty much what it was. That's always like, did he just realize the fact that you thought that you were the good guy, but really you was the douche the entire time?
Well, I think he knew he was a villain, but now I think he goes like, oh, there are much bigger consequences than if I rule the world. Crap.
Right. But don't get me wrong. I like the fact of him taking the Ranger Slayer. And it's like, okay, I'm going to have to, I guess, make amends. But make amends again. We don't want to go too far into it.
Yep.
The way he makes amends kind of changes the arc of what the Darkest Hour storyline's headed to. But I was really surprised they went that route. But what about you, Joe?
I did not see that coming either. You just don't see that too often, Power Rangers. You only get to see it every so often. This is not like Super Sentai where that happens a bit, not often, but more frequently than it does in Power Rangers.
Pretty much.
So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the last episode of Jetman and see how well Guyuki does. He's just sleeping, people. He's just asleep.
I got that reference. But no, it's an interesting issue. That's all. I was surprised that, like I said, like Joe said, we really have been keeping up with Power Rangers, but for them to do that at this point in the story, I'll admit it was a shakeup, but well needed.
Yep, that is Book of the Week. And that's all I got right now.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Joe, for getting our comic pools, guys, as we are heading toward the end of the show. As we wrap up, Joe, you will let the people know what you'll be up to and what you'll be doing and where they can find you.
I will be tremendously busy with the Middle Tennessee API group. You can find them over on Instagram and Facebook for Middle Tennessee API. As Lunar New Year comes up and Chinese New Year and a lot of the different Asian New Years comes up, I'm going to be very busy with them. Especially this year, because this year is the Year of the Dragon. This is one of the biggest celebrations there is for multiple Asian things. Just in general, Lunar New Year is always huge, but because it's Year of the Dragon, it's super big.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that. So making videos on the new channel, Showa Guy Joe. I just dropped a new video called Toys from Taka. Once again, I have purchased something over from Kotetsu Toys, where the store owner Taka and his wife Meg run a wonderful, wonderful tokusatsu themed store, and cuts his own YouTube shorts and channels where he pulls Raikemi cards or does really goofy skits.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend going watching his Kuka final form. Because Japan also had a blizzard happen just like Nashville did. So go watch that and laugh and feel bad for how cold poor Taka must feel in his ultimate Kuga form. Other than that, I'm just everywhere and nowhere at once. Like Instagram is still all the normal stuff. Twitter's still the normal stuff. Twitch, which is barely getting used at this point just because of how busy I am right now. But you may be able to watch videos. I don't know if I'm under that 2-week and delete thing yet or not.
I need to go back and go check because like I said, we usually are streaming on Twitch as well, but that's a good question. I don't know if your videos are there or not at Joe Italia last name.
Yeah, but like I said, now this actual show is now over on Show a Guy Joe for the live streams.
Okay.
So once March picks up, Show a Guy Joe will be taking off with more stuff because I'm going to be trying to hold a conversation with another friend over the radically named Boon Boonger series of Watch and React a Week or Watch and Chat and whatnot. They just revealed the black and orange ranger and shenanigans are abound.
Oh, I gotta go.
Oh God, those Kingdom Hearts shoes just kill me so much.
See,
not even the little wheels on their back shoulders. It's just those moon boot Sora shoes they got.
I am definitely gonna watch that show to see what y'all say. But thank you for that, Joe. Also, guys, some shameless plugging as usual. I do want to shout out my friend Vaughn at Big BZA Dot. You can definitely check him out as he does beats for music, for shows, for songs, things of that nature. Definitely check him out at Big BZA Dot on all social media. Also, guys, myself, you can find me Black Spartan. I should say you can find me, although Black Spartan, but on the socials, 447 is where you can find me, Blackbox447. I usually do reviews on everything that I read, that I watch, gym stuff, because I try to do a couple push-ups. At the same time, guys, the link at the bottom, let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys to see. If you copy and paste that link into your browser, we'll take you to our link tree that has YouTube and Facebook groups for all the podcasts. How the Fact Got Here, Get Bit, and of course, all those podcasts. Like, share, subscribe. Simply, guys, don't just like and walk off. Tell people about it. Share it. Watch the videos. We, simply put, cannot grow without you. And if you show us support, cool. It's sharing. Sharing and watching costs you nothing. Although if you feel like donating, me and Joe have no problem with donations. We really don't.
I don't. I already did my taxes.
Well, I mean, you're good now. So you already paid your taxes, so you're good. I still got to do mine. But anyway, definitely share them. Definitely share, guys. Again, show the love because we want to show love back. And don't be afraid to talk to us. We like talking to people. I know some of y'all guys do be talking to us here on the show. And I know we're trying to, jump across Instagram and Twitch. As I did see some people waved, I sincerely apologize. I could not get to you fast enough. But just know we do appreciate the love. Also, guys, before I get to the very end, I still want to share Blurred Station. Now, what is Blurred Station? It is basically what Netflix should have been. Not dropping content. Really for people of color and for blurs and for nerds, as it does have anime, as it does have comics, as it does have television shows like Issue 1, and it definitely has a lot more things that is pretty much geared to people like us. Simply put, it is easy to join if you just go to the Join Now button. At the same time, guys, if you go to the Blurred's Eye View Affinity membership, and from there, select anybody under there. Anyone doesn't matter. We would appreciate all the same. And of course, select the Affinity membership for $10.99. Now, the Affinity membership for $10.99, guys, after 36 months, gives you the ability to own a piece of Blurred Station. Now, that's a hell of a lot easier than trying to go through Fidelity or E-Trade to pay an asshole amount of money just to get one share of Amazon Prime or Netflix or Hulu, when at 36 months of paying $10.99 gives you the same thing a lot easier with Blurred Stations. Again, this is something for us. And I stress this very heavily because a lot of people say, well, there's not a lot of things at Blurred Station. If you are a content creator and you are a person of color and you're a blurred or a nerd, hey, there's room at the table for you. Go to the FAQ section of Blurred Station and you'll look into seeing how your content can be added to Blurred Station. And here's the beauty part about Blurred Station, people, for all you content creators. You get to keep ownership of your content. I don't know about you, but it's a big thing because a lot of people over at Tubi, found out the hard way that they do not keep the content that they shared over there. So again, come to Blair Station where they treat you right. But with that being said, guys, we will hopefully be back here in some capacity or form next Friday. Same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel. Again, guys, as cons are still going around, please, guys, respect the cosplayers. Hygiene is important. Personal boundaries is important. Be nice. You get a lot more flies with honey than vinegar. And you'll be very surprised what cosplayers will actually do within reason and consent for you if you simply are nice. So again, be nice, be kind. In the words of Will Wheaton, don't be a dick. But as we wrap this up, guys, again, we thank you all for watching, liking. And of course, this will be on the playback tomorrow. And like you said, Get Bit is all about sharing fandoms. We love them. We want to share them. We want to talk about them. The thing that we ask, the thing that me and Joe and so many others ask, don't be toxic. Don't be a gatekeeper. If someone has a different taste than you, then acknowledge it. There is no right or wrong answers in the world of fandom. Simply put, like, share, have fun, but don't be a dick. Joe, any last words we call tonight, sir?
No, there are correct answers. Megatron was right.
That's gonna start an argument. That being said, guys, he's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been the Give It Podcast for Night, guys. Again, please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be nice, be kind, have fun. And again, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Okay, I'm playing the